provision all the devices to simplify the deployment. So everything really turns up to the site that you want it in as plug and play, albeit in lots of cases without the plug. And that's us.
Thank you, Craig. And for today's sessions, we'll be cooperate together to bring and present you the material and the content for today. As we said, we are going to talk about something about IoT solutions. So today, as Milesight will be the one to introduce our products, and Craig will be giving us some of the real cases, stories, and sharing about the thoughts and how to build the businesses. So if you have any interest to like to talk further with us, we will still have a Q&A time later on, so we can discuss about your questions one by one. Okay, so now let's get started to look for what we are going to talk for today. So specifically today we'll be talking about LoRaWAN and energy solutions, and to bringing with you like what kind of products we do promoting the most in the market in UK, in the Europe countries and different area globally. And we wanted to bring with you like to let you know how could this collaboration bring the stronger solution. So if you're looking for a end-to-end solution with IoT products, you can find the best part here today. So we can get started to talk about everything about our products firstly, and there will be some introduction later on. And if you are looking for some of the discussion, we can get started. Okay. First of all, it's about some of our businesses. We have been talking a lot about our things. Just to show you, these are some little introduction parts. Just wanted to bring you to know our businesses, and you might be kind of familiar. And as well, Craig has already been introducing about what IoT is doing and what kind of businesses they're using and doing for. So today we can be bringing everything to all and to providing with your like more simplified route to market. So this will be our major purpose for today's co-webinar. So let's get back to the topic for today. So today our journey to energy efficiency means we are trying to accelerate the transition from the remote on and off controls, like also for data collection and analyze to system-wide integrated controls. A key enabler of this is our diverse sensing nodes and connectivity products. So we wanted to integrate all of these things into an IoT end-to-end solution. More specifically, the overall approach for like to building those energy efficient renovation solutions can include these few parts are listed right here. The first is about the like smart building controls. Implement intelligent control of the entire building through remote monitoring and management of IoT devices. Automatic adjustment of equipment operation can be made based on real-time demands, thereby achieving energy savings. And the second aspect is adopting data collection and analysis methods to monitor the building's energy consumption and make decisions and adjustment. Reasonable adjustment strategies can then be formulated to reduce energy usage. And finally, we want to help you to integrate different technologies organically to achieve system-wide integrated controls. Examples like LoRaWAN sensors integration, backlight IP building management system integration, and also our plan to do like daily lighting integration and building integrated like photovoltaic connection. There are a lot of different solutions we wanted to bring, and also wanted to make it really changing every aspect of doing your energy saving solution. So now I will be focused more on the details of what kind of energy solution we can be bringing with the LoRaWAN technology. So firstly, like power consumption management requires the development of measurement and control methods that can be implemented across different hardware and also for some of the platforms. So this is an overview of the energy consumption products and some related product series Milesight has right now, such as the co-work series, like for different portable sockets or wall sockets. What's the difference from it? We can be further talk later. And I think for this part, maybe Craig wanted to add something right here for bringing with you some of the insights of why do we and why should we bring the energy consumption measurement solution.
Sure. So Milesight's portfolio is huge, and what they have is they have a lot of different sensor nodes. And the part that I wanted to bring to this webinar is after Rainfi talks about kind of the products, I'd like to just kind of bring in a piece of what we've used them for, or what our customers have used them for, and what have been the results. So a plug is rather simple. Obviously, you plug a plug into it, and that will give you some information regarding the usage, both when the device may be in standby, but equally while the device is actually live. And obviously, this plug has the ability to have time controls on it, so it will turn off at certain times, turn on at certain times, etc., etc. This particular instance, we used this with a partner of ours for the Ryder Cup. So the Ryder Cup is a rather large golf tournament, and we supply lots of the Milesight plugs to manage the leaderboards with all the kind of the rankings on them. So we've actually used this. It worked really, really well. There was a cost saving regarding the previous iteration because they had no time controlled devices before, and equally they also gathered the data to understand exactly how much energy those boards used. So they turned them off when they wasn't used, when they wasn't needed, saving some energy, as well as ready for next 2 years, I think it is, that they'll then take that information of how efficient those boards were and look to see if they can make them any more efficient, and all by as simple as buying a plug and plugging those electric leaderboards into it, and that's it.
Yeah, kind of introduction will better help you to understand how could this product be used in the realistic world. So I would like to introduce some of the details of the products, and if you have any questions or you wanted to know if you can be used it and how to transfer your current existing like system, or you wanted to find some new solution, you can always put your questions in the chat and Q&A box. So this is a topology for grabbing all of those energy saving products, and we think it can be processed with some simple steps. And also we find there are still some business still not have the system in place. According to an investigation, we find nearly 1 in 5 of businesses, they didn't know if they had reduced their energy consumption over the past 12 months. And the solution from our side and also from Alliot, we wanted to involve a hybrid approach that combines like both non-intrusive, low monitoring and distributed sensor techniques to some extent, which simplifies the energy monitoring like never before. Like you can check with this topology I mentioned right here. The first one, for your available traditional meters, you can keep them for energy consumption recording if they support RS-232 or RS-485 serial ports. So just connect with our UC controller series, the UC300, you can see, to transmit the readings to your own platform without estimation of bills. If for your like internal purpose only, they don't send to the utility suppliers. You can always do that. And also you can find the smart sockets we've been mentioned a lot. It provides access to electrical appliances associated with energy usage unlocked. They are capable of collecting current and voltage measurement and can remotely cut off power to any redundant devices. Energy Star reports like each desktop computer weighs up to like $50 per year, which sounds okay, but if you have a quantity of desktops in the office, this is a big money. So you have to find a way to do the switch and to make it accessible to do the monitoring as well. And the smart transformer can measure the like magnitude and current in a non-intrusive method. That means you do not have to bother your existing like circuits. You just have to clip it on that, and you can know the power transforming through the circuits. So that will be a way to do the transformation instead of to do all of the replacement. So anything you wanted to add it right here, right?
Sorry, I was just on mute. I was just about to start talking then. Yeah, so we've got a number of customers. I've seen what's quite good is I've seen Tyler and Robert, Tyler from the UK and Slovenia, and Robert from Slovenia. We've actually got a customer, and sorry, I'm not ignoring India. It's just I don't actually have a customer that's deployed this solution in India at the moment. One of our customers is working with I'm just trying to grab my notes here, is working with the largest European tenanting landowner. And what they're trying to do is they're implementing an EMS solution, an energy management solution. So they're using pretty much this exact solution. And what they're then taking it is they're combining it into existing BMS building management solutions. So I'll draw the picture. So they've got over 2,000 warehouses that are in UK, Slovenia, and Europe wide. Some of those warehouses will already have an existing BMS solution, but will not have all of the necessary sensing within that BMS system. They're then taking effectively what Rainfi's just described, and then they're splitting the warehouses into sub warehousing. And then what they're also doing is they're using that energy management solution to monitor and understand what's going on. But then they're also being able to sub meter. So for instance, if they've got one large warehouse that they break into 4 units and one of those units is unoccupied, they've got 3 people that are sharing the energy, but they can actually take the correct metering and apply it to the specific unit. So unit 1 may be using considerably more than unit 2 and 3. And by using these solutions, they're actually able to break that and charge people correctly. The other side of the EMS solution is they're also using it to monitor and see where savings can be made. So, for instance, Unit 1 might have a CT101 running a lighting circuit, and we actually understand that those lighting circuits that CT101 is using, CT1 does have a minimum current that needs to run through it, but on this lighting circuit, the CT101 may say this lighting circuit was running at whatever time of the day. We know that there'll be there'll be light coming through. So actually it's a waste of energy using those lights. So there's loads of little tiny energy savings within this. So, and the other part about the warehousing that already have existing BMS systems in there, but with not quite the enough nodes, then what they're able to do is retrofit using the Milesight solution, additional nodes that capture maybe things like noise if it's in a particular area, but in this instance, additional HVAC systems that have been added later, or additional lighting circuits that have been added later, or additional other nodes.
For that information. I think it's kind of a very classic or typical solutions while we wanted to use those products into your solutions. Sometimes you find it's only requires a few steps to do the transformation and to collect the data very easily instead of just to replace every single device in your solution, which it has been existed. So I would like to give you some detailed introduction of these products and to let you know what exact the function it's got and also what kind of things can it do. So if you have any questions, you can always drop your questions later and we can discuss it. So first part, like we mentioned a lot, it's about the smart portable sockets and the wall socket sensors, 2 types of them. So which can, number 1, I want to say electricity parameter collection. The smart sockets collect various parameters, including voltage, current, power factor, power, and power consumption. Both of them can measure active and reactive power and energy. Number 2, the remote control and scheduling function. Users have the convenience of remotely turning the devices on and or off, as well as creating some personalized schedules for automatic switch on and switch off. Additionally, the physical power button on the socket enables local control and also be remotely locked to prevent like unintentioned like actions by children or other individuals. And also the last useful feature is they support overload protection, safeguarding electrical systems from excessive loads, and they can even alert users in case of power outage. So the smart portable sockets you can see, which can be plug into the UK, EU, US, or AU socket, and it enables you to switch or schedule a connected electronic device on or off anywhere, anytime. And the upcoming WS516 is a upcoming new product specialized for UK markets, which will be having dual positions. And currently we have like smart wall socket modules support like European like type EF and France type E with safety door. For North and Latin American customers, we can customize the standards depending on the other requirements. So this is about everything about the smart sockets. And I find there will be some solutions requirement. I can be able to answer the questions maybe later to help you to find out how to solve the current existing solutions. Maybe there will be some extra products I didn't mention for today. So I can be sharing with you and give you the follow-up email well after this webinar to talk about some untalked products which might help you to solve the problem. Okay, and the next part is about the CT series, just like Craig just says. The CT series will be a new kind of product which do not have to do any intrusive work, which is like capable to do the transformation. And currently we have two types of the current transformer, the CD10X and CD30X. For the single phase and the three-phase monitoring respectively. They can be able to cover from like 100, 250 and 500 and up to 1000 amps of the current transforming. And also there are some highlights make them being able and stand out in the market, like one easy installation. Installing the current transformer is a breeze as you don't need to care about the current direction. It's split core design enables easy installation without interrupting the circuit. And secondly, it got the capability of doing the easy configuration. It can be pre-charged and configured using the type USB Type-C, enabling a swift and hassle-free setup with the LoRaWAN gateway. For your convenience, the configuration can be done via like USB or like other than NFC. And thirdly, the low maintenance. The device can be powered directly by the circuit without batteries. It can self-power itself. If no current flows through the cable, the device can be powered through Type-C temporarily charging. And thanks to the embedded supercapacitor we had it in, when the current of the measured circuit reaches zero, the device can enter standby mode and remain operational for approximately 5 hours. And lastly, the non-intrusive energy consumption monitoring and converts it to, and you can be able to using the magnetic induction. It captures the magnetic field generated by the current and converts it into an electrical output proportional to the measured current. So the one that worth mentioning is that the CD sensors are specifically designed for detecting the AC circuits and are incapable with DC circuits. Okay, so I think Craig has got something else to share with you guys to let you know how we exactly use it in the solution.
I do. I'm just going to let Amadei. I've actually answered your question, so I know how to solve that solution with an alien AC remote. So I'll put it on there, but by all means, get in touch with myself or Rainfi, and we'll let you know that. Yeah, in regards to the CT101, and Robert's raised a very good point that it needs 30 amps to run through it all the time, which is, yeah, it does seem restrictive, and but it is an energy harvesting. They do have other CT clamps that obviously will be different powered, but you're right, that is a challenge. we have used the CT101, and we've used it in a series of car repair centers. So these guys have a lot of high energy consuming devices that only need to be operational at various points in the day. What happened, obviously, when they're left on, there's a lot of energy that's being used for no apparent reason. So, and I'm thinking of the type of generators that they might use to do car wheels and those types of stuff. So the feedback from them was what they then decided to do is they would, with the results, they decided that they would only use these devices on set days. So if someone needed a particular job done that required these high energy consuming units, they would only do them on maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry, my screen's just switched off with my notes on. So they would only use them on those days, and that mitigated those devices being left on, which was then a huge consumption of power that actually had no reconciliation. So they were spending money without actually making any. So they put in that process to say, we're not going to do these jobs on Monday and Friday. We're only going to do those jobs on these days. And that mitigated these devices consuming energy with no return. The other thing it identified is that actually when they was completing these jobs and they had a cost to these jobs, so let's just say a repair on a particular vehicle would cost them, they would charge out £500. The cost of energy was seriously eating into the margin. So it also made them rethink how they priced that job and said, actually, the cost of energy has risen so much and these devices are drawing so much energy that we need to put our prices up, which is not obviously great for me and you if we need a vehicle repaired. But what it did do is it actually made them a more profitable business. So there was two wins just by putting on I'll say a CT clamp, but an energy monitoring device was actually we can reclaim our profit margin, our general margin or gross margin, should I say, and B, actually become more efficient and book things in rather and mitigate the risk of spending money with nothing coming in. Hope that helps.
I also saw there will be some of the questions asking about the usability of the CD101 or CD300. So yes, firstly, it can be able to use the Type-C, the USB-C to supply it. So if you find out like the triggering like current is not enough to have it been turning on, so the USB-C is another choice for doing the supplement of this. And for the accuracy part, it's about like 1 to 3%, and that will be varies well in different stages, but I think it will be covered in a small range. And while it's being used, it won't be having too much shifts of the accuracy rate. So that will be some adding part to the question in the chat box. Okay, so now I think we can go through to the next part of today's. If you still have a question, I think we could be able to solve that later on in the Q&A session as well. So here is a case about the current transformer. So what they are doing, actually, they're using it for some kind of for the energy efficiency in the concert hall, and they're finding out because it's too hard for them to change every single thing in their concert because that's too old. So what they wanted to do is to find out the data and how much does it cost for the monthly or yearly report. So they wanted to collect it and do not want to bother anything, their existing things right now. So they're finding a solution with the CD101 as a choice to do the easy and high quality installation to manage it. And for this one, they can be able to optimize their electricity consumption and to bring the cost reduction, which is still giving back some good news. And there will be some extra information if you're caring about it. Okay, so I think there will be some questions related to other products. I think we can talk further in the Q&A live session. So the next part I wanted to bring is about like the lighting system. We know for energy saving, there will be some parts like including the energy usage, for the exactly usage, and also there will be some system cost the most energy, including HVAC system or lighting system. So the Milesight systems, I think they will be bringing some different kind of solutions, and we find out it will be giving you some approach by developing a range of controllers and sensors powered by LoRaWAN technologies, which allows for like greater interoperability. It's a key pillar that holds the entire system together, equipping with like to meet its various energy objectives. Wireless communication protocols like LoRa could be used to accomplish it. So this is something related to the lighting system energy controlling solutions. We can see some in details. Like in this most cases, new commercial buildings worldwide and also some of the existing buildings that will be upgraded like to 20% or more of their lighting are obligated to meet the specific energy saving standards. Typically, the initial step involves transitioning to like high efficiency LED lights and implementing advanced lighting control techniques using like occupancy and daylight sensor, this like PIR sensors, and these sensors are usually installed in each light fixture. And this will be able to, like Milesight, we are trying to bring a different approach by developing a range of controllers in each and can be installed in each of the lights, like the WS558, the controller, which is powered by LoRaWAN technology, and also being able to connect up to 8 different circuits to control different lights usage with some specific logic, like we mentioned. You will be able to use it to do some like different kinds of communication layers by connecting your lighting systems, and also to be able to integrate it every aspect. So for nowadays, you can be able to, well, if there's nobody in the room and you detect it with your occupancy sensor, it can help you to turn on or off your seats and turn off or your like lighting in the meeting rooms in case of extra waste of the energy. So this will be the purpose why we wanted to bring this kind of lighting solutions. And here are some of the products which are in this lighting control and energy consumption measurement solutions. Like we can see, the first is about like we have talked a lot about the D2D interoperability. It refers to like to compatibility in between two individual components or devices that are not part of in the same system. For example, like we mentioned, the occupancy data from the sensor can be used to control both lighting and HVAC operations. And the second part about the device to like backnet systems as well, you can be able to achieve that because our LoRaWAN gateways, including UG65, 56, and 67, can be able to do the converting in between the backnet to IP protocol, and also being able to add it into your existing BMS system to make sure you can be able to easily adjust the light levels like for specific devices, zones, and areas. So this integration is made like possible to use the backnet IP protocol available in Milesight's LoRaWAN gateways as well. Two directions can be able to do that, allowing for efficient control and coordination of the lighting system within the broader building management framework. And also for the controlling like brightness part, actually we are going to bring some new products. For example, the DALI dimmer brightness controller. This will be a product which can be doing the converting in between DALI and the LoRaWAN in one product. So we can make sure to help with like to not just about to turning lights on and off, and also being able to adjust the brightness level of each of the luminaire independently or a group of lights. So this level of this control gives you the power to tailor your lighting to your specific needs. And our upcoming DALI dimmer controller can be able to cover this requirement, which we had been able and currently doing the developing right now, which will be able to see you in 2025. So the lighting controller and the system is kind of versatile enough to cater to like different different spaces, like single space control or larger scale scenarios. Like in the single scale like system, like local control of individual rooms is provided without external communication. However, to fully harness the capabilities for enhanced energy management and facilitate the performance, a networked system with LoRaWAN gateways is recommended. So this allows for the control of multiple rooms or even entire floors, along with the ability to connect to other like servers and systems such as the HVAC and building automation. So that will be something related to the lighting control monitoring system. Let's see the questions right here. Yes, so actually it's got a little bit delay. So the delay will be in 2025 because it's still in the development stage. And let's see if there will be some question related to that. So we can be able to do the later, like to solve your questions of the questions because I thought there might be a lot of interest, including for the LoRaWAN gateways transmission part. So let's finish all about the products firstly, and we can to talk about like the details in the integration of how to build your system and to do the converting. So for the WS558 Smart Light Controller, I mentioned a lot. And so this one is actually capable to do the helpful things for applications which requires the smart power consumption management to improve the electricity and efficiency and to save energy. And the switch type is working for controlling the switches only, but both of them are capable of controlling up to 8 circuits of lights. Besides, like we mentioned, you can integrate it into your existing systems with like LoRaWAN and also being able to use Milesight D2D protocol for doing the multicast or to control it in box. So by the way, the maximum capacitive and inductive load per circuit is 5 amps. And so that will be able to support up to 16 amps in total. So this will be something about the details of the WS558. And also for the smart scene panel, there are many things you can do with it because it is a wireless panel. That means you can use different buttons to control different settings. Like you can connect it with the occupancy sensor, you can connect it with the white light controller, and you can be able to set like some of the things in it to give you some extra like helpful things to doing the on and off or control of different appliances in the indoor rooms. And you can also communicate with the LoRaWAN gateways and also the UC controllers to make sure you can adjust some of the traditional devices. Just because they got the serial ports, you can be able to do the connection or transformation in between a traditional device into a smart LoRaWAN device. So that will be something very helpful for that. And for the switches, like we can see there might be some of them. This can be able to cover or change, do the switch of your existing 4 switches just because it's got the extra collection of measurement, like we mentioned and highlight right here about the current, the voltage, the power factor, and every single thing you wanted to collect and to make sure to get the report. So this one will be like in the different way to make it intelligence of your existing like lights or switches in the indoor spaces for buildings. So in total, I will say this is for the lighting control solution and to bring some benefits. You can get like, for example, if you're suffering for some slow installation, like missed deadlines and overrun budgets, its challenge will be reduced with the Milesight lighting control system because it can provide a single source solution for on-site turn on and off control, remote on off or schedule on off, and environmental based timing like control that simplifies the installation process. So this addition of sensor brings a tremendous amount of control over the system and gives you a lot of data on how the system is operating. And if this is a result in a substantial reduction in the amount of power in the lighting system can use. So we are part of the whole effort to improve the efficiency of this lighting system around the world, actually. So I think this would be a very helpful one in the building, especially for some of the workplace building. It will be very appropriate to use this kind of solution in. So there will be some successful stories talking. For example, this is a very classic and typical solution we had for the office building types. And to realize the energy saving and cost efficiency, the objects, 64 units of IoT sensor are deployed in their workplace. Besides monitoring the indoor air quality and detecting like trash bins levels, the key priorities is to upgrading the lighting automation. So that will be helpful while they can be using the wall switch and the smart light controller we mentioned. In the general office area, all lights are now automated regardless of 50%, 70%, or 100% switching on and off based on ambient conditions. That means to detect like brightness level, is that daytime or nighttime. Additionally, it allows for customization and individualization of desk lights controls based on occupancy, thereby reducing the electricity usage. So with all of these settings and integration. So this will be something additional, and to let you know how could they use the different like smart lighting controlling or smart lighting solution to change their existing systems. So to add more information right here is to share with some of the two protocols we have been mentioned a lot here, just to give a very short and quick introduction. So the Milesight D2D I mentioned a lot is to let the device to talk to device directly without additional transmission that via gateways. So this could offer like options and to help different appliances in building be smarter. So as you see in the previous diagrams, the LoRaWAN gateway are necessary for building up energy efficient solution, regardless of the HVAC or lighting or power consumption measurement. So these gateways are equipped with high performance capabilities and support rich protocols such as BACnet to IP, HTTP, MQTT, and will be capable with more like new protocols as we had been mentioned in the roadmap. And we are trying to make it more compatible with different kinds of protocols. So if in your area or regions you're finding some new capability of the protocol compatibility, you can let us know and we will see if we can do the upgrades, because we will assess that and to see which one is more in the rush. So we will be giving that a higher priority to do. So I think if there will be something related to this part, you wanted to add some information here, correct?
Yeah, sure. So all I was going to say is throughout all of the case studies and pretty much everything we've already talked about, the one thing that's key for all of them is that they actually show a true return on investment. So we're a business, whilst we want to do lots of things that make things better, we actually really want to try and drive a return on investment. And we've got loads of examples whereby using this technology and a clear goal, it needs to have a clear goal, combined with the experience, we've not only delivered improved environments, but are also showing real measurable returns. So remember, we're a distributor. We consult for people and we help people. So all of this has been generally done through partners and integrators, etc. And we've done some stuff ourselves in our own building. In one instance, we've had a reduction of 66% in costs. So that's 66% less costs. And the break-even point of the CapEx cost was 2 months. So whilst there's lots and lots of small devices that add incremental benefits, but ultimately we just want to show a return on investment, be it better environments, a better customer service, all of this type of stuff. But ultimately we also want to see a return. And as I say, I want to just reiterate what I just said a second ago. So in one particular instance, which is the building I'm sat in right now, we saw a reduction of 66% in costs, and our break-even point was 2 months. So I think that's really valuable when you're talking to your customers, etc., that ultimately by them spending money with you or doing things with Milesight, they will see a return, and it will be relatively quick. It'll be quicker than what they probably think.
So I think that will be pretty a lot of information for talking about all the products and solutions, and we're welcoming for your additional questions because we're still answering them. And for this part, I think we can be Craig can be sharing more about how can our cooperation to bring the stronger solutions, because like I mentioned, as a IoT product provider, we wanted to be more professional in making products. And also we need our partners to be able to integrate all of those products into your projects. So let's see what else can Craig be adding, and to what kind of end-to-end solutions can be OIoT and Milesight together combined to offer to you guys.
Okay, so I've not written anything down for this, which is probably an error. But I'll just reiterate what all IoT do again. So the normal customer journey for someone coming to us is they will come to us and say, we have this problem, or we're looking to understand this, or we've even just got a building or a farm or any type of scenario. What can we do? We then start asking some questions, which might be, what's your biggest restriction? Is it a cost? Is it an environmental factor? And we do some consultation, all for free. So all of this is either done on the phone, sometimes we might visit, or it's on Teams. Once we've understood where we see the biggest piece of value, so we have a lot of people come to us that want to do air quality control, and that's great, but return on investment is difficult from air quality control. It's very much it's a nice thing and it will be a good thing. But ultimately, if we can maybe go down the energy management solutions, as we've talked right now, we will actually generate a return for you. So if you're spending 8,000 a month or 6,000 a month or £1,000 a month or whatever your costs may be, if we can show you a return by looking at maybe energy management solutions and saying, by making sure that we put these plugs in, we will turn off your standby TVs. And we've got 45 desktop computers in our building at the moment. And by leaving those on when we go home, I think the cost was around £1,000 a year or something. It might not have been that high. But just by plugging these computers into these plugs, we will generate a return, and it's at what point that becomes break even. Once we've generated that return, and we can use the experience that we've already done lots of these case studies, and we've got actual figures that says this is how much money we expect you to save, we can then reinvest that by leveraging the rest of the network. Because once you put up a gateway, you've got your gateway, you've got your network server, you've got your application server. The rest of it, once you've then created a return on investment, you then effectively have a pot of money that you can reinvest into making these solutions better. So I'll just go back to my original point. A customer will come to us and ask us, how can we make this better? How can we use this? How can we save money? We will consult for free. We will build a shopping list as such of everything that we think you need. And remember at the start, I said all IoT can provide a full stack solution using Milesight. Equally, it is modular. So if there's anything that you've already got, you may have an application server, you may have a network server, you may have a BMS system that you just want to bring this stuff into. All of that's fine because it's a modular solution. So we remove the bits that you'll do yourself. We remove the bits that you already have, and we generate what would a POC look like, and then also what would a commercial deployment look like. Once you're happy to go forward with the POC, we will supply that. And remember, we hold lots and lots of stock. So pretty much once you're ready to place your proof of concept, it'll be shipped the same, if not the next day, for delivery the day after, dependent on carriage. So very, very quickly, you can have a POC up and running. And then it's up to you how long you want that proof of concept to run. But once you understand that that is going to generate you a saving, then all you then need to do is effectively agree to move forward with a commercial deployment that, with free of charge, showed you what to do and what your expected results will be. Then you move forward with your, or even at POC stage, we have a full support offering. We actually have more technical people than we have salespeople, and that's by design. So we want to make sure that we educate everybody more than we sell to, because ultimately, if we can educate you, you will no longer need us for the support, and all you will then do is supply. And that's it. It's really quite easy. So call us up, tell us what you want to do. We'll advise you. We'll use our experience. We'll show you what we've seen from a return on investment. We may even advise you not to do what you're originally planning to do because you won't get the initial return on it. But we'll be honest, we'll be open, we'll do it for free. And then once we start selling you some products, you'll see the returns. And that's how we've grown, because people then stick with us.
Yeah. So while we can be offering the cooperation, got things together, so we can be able to bring you the more professional and local based solutions. I think that's how Milesight wanted to bring our product into like different solutions to really make things matter. So that is also what we wanted to do. So now I think it's time for us to go to the Q&A session. So please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box and chat box. And also for those of you who wanted to get in contact with both of us, both of Milesight and Node IoT, you can be able to follow our contacts here if you want. And also we can be able to drop you our email address in the chat box so you can visit that. Also okay.